Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark. It was deadly.
I hate him so much.
But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight.
Okay, what I want to do...
with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. You look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to
right here.
The Jimmy Carter days. They were different days. We're a respected country again, like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in a what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far. The capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have, and you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills 25, on average, 25,000 people. We knocked out 97.
Jesus.
And those drugs
one boat, 25,000 dead Americans. True.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious
chatting stream.
We don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious.
Oh, also, just as a quick thing for you fucking retards in my fucking audience. So I quote tweeted Dave Smith, and I said these people have no values. They'll support fucking anything. And people are like, actually, if you read Dave Smith's tweet, he wasn't supporting it at all. Fuck you, okay? Was he supporting it in the tweet? No, he wasn't. Not really. But it was the most hedged language. The most like, well, guys, the important thing is next, and we'll see what happens, and this, you know, the next stage, and we'll blah blah blah. But if this was a Democratic leader, he would have gone off. It would have been, I can't believe we're doing a legal regime change. It's the worst possible thing. America is making the same mistake. Remember, Dave Smith is literally only popular. The Iraq War to Dave Smith is like fucking Palestine and Israel to Hassan Piker. If it wasn't for Iraq and him reading a single book about this and having every CIA conspiracy theory in his mind about it, nobody would know or give a fuck about who this guy is. Okay, his whole political schmuck was driven by the hatred that he has about the Iraq War, and so for him to give such lukewarm, tepid, kind of sort of criticism over the bullshit that he's basically supporting it. He's basically saying like, well, if the outcome is good, then everything will be okay. Fuck him and fuck that and fuck you.
Transition, and it has to be judicious, because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela.
Right.
And that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind.
That's what we care about.
Decades
True, King.
We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it essentially until such time as a proper transition.
Okay.
What the fuck does that mean?
Programmer.
The oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually.
Thanks.
This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably we won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe.
I want to
And
change
will
this.
also
How do I
make the many,
change
many people
this?
from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. The illegitimate dictator Maduro.
How do I
is the
change
kingpin of a
what
How long do you think I'll stay there?
my
I
stream
don't even know what he means when he says we'll run the country. I don't know what he means for like any of this,
preferences?
or what that entails, or like what. Because I mean, weren't we supposed to do this for Gaza? And they
VR
released like that
chat.
fucking, like a high schooler's guide to like, oh, this is how everything's gonna work out. I don't think we've done anything with that, have we? So who the fuck knows?
Criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solis,
Oh,
which
another
flooded
one.
our nation with lethal poison,
True.
responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, many, many Americans, hundreds of thousands. of
Hot
people
take: Arc
died
Raiders
because of it.
sucks.
Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil.
Also, where's my international law historic people capturing other nationals to force them to stand trial in your country? What is the? That seems like a. It seems like a not good, a no bueno thing. But I don't know if what historical analogs would exist for this. But
Now they're on a ship they'll be heading to.
Oh.
like even for Saddam Hussein, he stood trial in Iraqi courts that were set up after his deposing. You wouldn't say deposition, right? His deposure? I don't know what you would say, but whatever. Bush Sr. did this in Panama? Okay, I don't know anything about the Panama shit, so.
New York, and then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law, and I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's
Israel kidnapped Adolf Eichmann and helped trouble him in Israel. What was Eichmann's background? He wasn't the leader of the fucking country, though, right? I don't know. Like, Israel does some stuff that is, in terms of international law, like the Mossad does stuff that is not, or it did in the past. Well, arguably with assassinations.
Okay, fucking beautiful.
I don't care as much about them, though, because they do it in other countries that don't give a fuck about international law, so fuck them.
It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. You all saw it. In addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over in particular the United States, Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang, Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide, and he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment
Stop.
complexes.
Everybody keeps saying Eichmann was a senior official Nazi or orchestrated the Holocaust, blah, blah. I'm saying what positions... He didn't have any, like, positions in government, though, in, like, Argentina, wherever the fuck he captured him from, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, Maduro was the president of a country that I imagine has a legal system that can prosecute him there if they so choose to do so. Like, capturing people and taking them to your own country. Fuck! To stand trial in your legal system is... Oh, my God. It's generally not... I know what can you do. This thing's gonna kill me. This thing's gonna kill me. I just have to make it close enough to call the thing. I just have to make it close enough to call the thing. I just have to make it close enough to call the thing.
Okay. Because if I do this,
187. Can I make it? I have like coils in my butt, I guess. I don't think I can make this scroll.
They cut the fingers off people if they call police. They cut the fingers. They were brutal. They call police. But they're not so brutal now.
I don't have the healing
just have
looting
to
one, do I? I don't think I do.
Congratulate
The
our
healing
military
looting one,
people,
do I?
everybody in our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago. A little bit of a different kind of a threat, but we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have two, on average two
Did the
a week.
meme.
In Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The
No,
restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're walking their daughters. They're walking their children, their wives. They walk to restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military. And I want to thank law enforcement. It's been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know. And we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now. And crime is down. Just sort of started a few weeks ago. But crime is down now 77%. And the governor of Louisiana called. Great person. And he wanted us to help him, as you know. And a certain very nice...
No fucking shot. No fucking shot. No. Wait, do you want an item? Hold on. Wait, do you want an item? Hold on. Wait, do you want an item? There we go. Thank you so much. I love everybody. There we go. Thank you so much. I love everybody. There we go. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Louisiana, and we have done that. It was a rough section, and we have crime down. I understand down to almost nothing already after 2.5 weeks. New Orleans, it's down to almost nothing, and we've only been there for 2.5 weeks. Can't imagine why governors wouldn't want us to help. We also helped, as you know, in Chicago, and crime went down a little bit there. We did a very small help because we had no working ability with the governor. The governor was a disaster, and the mayor was a disaster, but it knocked down crime. But we're pulling out of there when they need us. We'll know. You'll know. You'll be writing about it. And likewise, Los Angeles, where we saved Los Angeles early on.
They saved LA.
Head of the police department made a statement that if the federal government didn't come in, we would have lost Los Angeles.
What? Who the fuck is he talking about here? What? Who the fuck is he talking
Long
about
after
here?
the fires. That's when they had the riots in Los Angeles. We did a great job. Got no credit for it whatsoever, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't need the credit. But we'll be pulling out when they need us. They'll call, or we'll go back if we have to. We'll go back. But we did a great job in various cities. But the place that we're very proud of is Washington, D.C., because it's our nation's capital. We took it from being a crime-ridden mess to being one of the safest cities in the country. But the gangs they sent raped, tortured, and murdered American women and children. They were in all of the cities I mentioned. Trendera, and they were sent by Maduro to terrorize our people, and now Maduro will never...
Oh, he's talking about when the fires happened. Oh.
He's talking about when the fires happened.
Let me... Chat width 450. Perfect. Venezuela. Okay. Okay, so when I'm on this scene, I can't hear anything because main screen capture is muted, and that's C. Okay.
Like we were babies, we didn't do anything about it.
View.
I would have done something. America will never allow foreign powers to rob our people and drive us back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did. Furthermore, under the now deposed Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. Potentially in league with the cartels operating along our border. All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries. The way back, it dated to the Monroe Doctrines. And the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal. But we've superseded it by a lot. By a real lot. They now call it the Monroe Document. I don't know. It's Monroe Doctrine. We sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again.
Bring the height down.
So just in concluding, for decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the Western Hemisphere.
400,
Under the Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way in our home region. And our home region
Beautiful.
is very different than it was just a short while ago. The future will be, and we
All
did
right,
this in my
so
first term.
this
We had
is
great
a
dominance in my first
scene
term.
that has
We have
the main
far greater
screen
dominance
has
right now.
me, has
Everyone's coming back
chat,
to us.
has the
The
footer
future will be
banner,
determined by the ability
and it
to
has news
protect
up in
commerce,
the
I got one
territory,
XP.
resources that
corner.
are
What
core
I want to
to
do
national
right
security.
now is
These are
save
core
buffer.
to our
Boom.
national
No.
security. Just like tariffs are, they've made our country rich,
Movies, OBS.
and
I'm
they've
gonna
made
pause
our
this.
national
Have they,
I
security.
need that. Fuck. Okay, I was too late. Fuck. Okay, I was too late. Fuck. Okay, I was too late. Fuck. Well, that's interesting. Why is that happening? Well, that's interesting. Why is that happening? Well, that's interesting. Why is that happening? Well, that's interesting. Why is that happening?
In sovereignty or endangered. In sovereignty or endangered. In sovereignty or endangered. In sovereignty or endangered.
If I meet, if I meet, if I meet, if I meet. Oh, that is weird. Why is that happening? Oh, that is weird. Okay. Why is that happening? Let me mute stream and let's see what's going on. Oh, it's terrible. Okay. Let's go into the streaming project. Audio in my stream is echoing and repeating, both from my mic and from, what is this, a main screen chapter, main screen capture, OBS v32, Mac OS M silicon chip. Okay. Okay. Kick chat is the only chat that I don't have set up right now. What does ChatGPT say? Okay, desktop audio, Mac audio capture, both active. Mac audio capture, which makes this easy to double but. So I have. Okay, let me do.
Means, right? Respect is somebody comes in and they say, do some shit. Respect is somebody comes in and they say, do some shit. Respect is somebody comes in and they say, do some. Like, ooh, okay, we got
that only the United States could do. It required the utmost of precision and integration within our joint force. And the word atmosphere in close thousands and thousands of hours of experience, we're airborne. Our youngest crew member was 20. We're airborne. Our youngest crew member was 20. We're airborne. Our youngest crew member was 20.
When not streaming, set audio back to normal. You already noticed this. Set audio back to normal. Monitoring output is not. Monitoring output is not. Black hole. This is so annoying. What the fuck? Black hole. This is so annoying. What the fuck? Monitoring device. Yeah. That should be. Yeah. That should be. That should be. Testing, testing. Testing. The clean, stable setup. Desktop audio, your mic only. Mic input capture. Mic input capture. Mic input capture. Wait a second. No, that's audio capture. What is that? Audio input capture. Okay. There's black hole audio laptop mic. Black hole audio laptop mic. Okay. Okay, does the echo happen with just my voice? No. Whichever mute stops it. Okay, how about this? Whichever mute stops it. Okay, how about this? Huh. Okay. A main screen capture that is set to display capture for my main laptop screen, no matter what window is present. A Mac OS screen capture, another macOS screen capture set to application capture on a Chrome browser on another monitor. Mic input capture for my laptop mic. When I mute the mic, the echo still occurs. When I mute both screen captures, the echo stops. If either screen capture is active, it echoes. Okay. I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to figure this out and then we'll get right into it. Double capturing system audio via the two screen capture sources. On OBS, each screen capture can independent capture. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So both sources are pulling into the same system mix, causing echo, phasing, doubling. Muting the mic does nothing. Muting either screen capture still echoes. We need to be able to fix it. The correct fix, option A best practices, use screen capture for video only. For each Mac, open source processor, uncheck audio capture. Yeah, but I didn't see that. Okay, I'm not seeing any option to, what was it? Uncheck capture audio or include audio or anything. When I open up the advanced audio properties, this screenshot is what I see. Also including a screenshot of the regular source properties for one Mac OS source. Okay. So let's just give it that, and let's give it, let me open up this. Okay. There is no per source capture audio, blah, blah. Every screen capture will include it implicitly. That's why you're not seeing checks. This is by design right now. What your black hole audio is the smoking gun. Black hole audio status active, monitor only. This actually is completely contradicting to what it was saying. This doesn't make sense at all. Option B, simpler, remove black hole entirely. No. First off, is that even correct?
We'll figure it out.
Venezuela.
Well, it's largely going to be for a period of time. The people that are standing right behind me. We're going to be the people that are standing right behind me.
No.
We're going to be.
Yeah, no, this is retarded. Black hole has nothing to do with it. Retarded. Black hole has nothing to do with it. Retarded. Black hole has nothing to do with it. Hmm. 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 What am I gonna do? Okay, testing. Okay, testing. Okay, testing. Okay, testing. Okay, testing. Okay, testing. Okay. Testing 1 2 1 2. I don't quite know what I'm doing with this. Okay, is there a different... like a video capture device, desk view camera, no. Let's get that out of here. Main screen capture. You're wrong. Black hole is not the problem. How can I have 2 video sources on Mac without fuck you. See, okay, this is a perfect example of why AI can be very annoying. It is not possible to have 2 simultaneous screen capture sources without duplicating system audio because audio is implicitly attached to every... Okay, conclusion. Okay, so I can't do that. Okay, I think there actually is a way for me to... Okay, bear with me. I think there's a way for me to finagle this. I think AI is wrong. Okay, we're gonna do this. Bear with me while I turn the audio back on this shit. Hmm.
Energy. We have tremendous energy in that country. It's very important that we protect it. We need that for ourselves.
That's
We need
not
that
a
for the world.
problem, so I'm
And
gonna
we want to make sure we
reinstate
can protect
that.
it for ourselves.
That's not a
Yes, sir,
problem, so
please.
I'm gonna reinstate that. Okay. I'm on
Cuba's an
here.
interesting case. Cuba is, not doing very well right now. That system is not. The people. It's very similar in the sense that we want to help the people in Cuba, but we want to also help the people that were forced out of Cuba and living in this country. Do you want to say something about that, Marco?
Yeah.
Took over Venezuela in some cases. One of the biggest problems the Venezuelans have is they have to declare independence from Cuba. They tried to basically colonize it from a security standpoint. So, independence from Cuba. They tried to basically colonize it from a security standpoint. So, independence from Cuba. They tried to basically colonize it from a security standpoint. So, independence from Cuba.
That didn't work. Fuck. That didn't work. Fuck. That didn't work. Fuck.
We haven't really. We haven't.
Mr. President, Mr. President, on
Money. We're going to take back the oil that, frankly, we should have taken back a long time ago. We're going to take back the oil that, frankly, we should have taken back a long time ago.
Okay. Well.
Like the Biden administration treated a man named Trump. That didn't work out too well for them. This was a man who was persecuted very unfairly. He was the head of the country. He was persecuted very unfairly. And there are a number of them. And we felt that it was a very unfair situation that happened to him. He's also a party member of the man who won. So obviously the people liked what I did.
Testing audio now. Holy shit, it's been 40 minutes. Holy shit, it's been 40 minutes. No, wait, why is that echoing again? No, wait, why is that echoing again? Okay, final. Official testing. Okay, final. Official testing. No. I actually have no idea what the fuck is going on. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. So it's not screen share. What the hell am I doing? Okay, laptop mic is way down. It's still echoing. Black hole audio. No. If I mute main screen capture, is everything okay? Yes. Why?
Open it here. You know what? If you give me a possible act, what would be a solution that wasn't employed in the last whatever amount of years that they were in power and they should have been? How many, like a decade? A decade?
Monitor in output. No. Monitor off. This wasn't happening yesterday. I don't understand why. Why is this? Why is this doing? Why is this doing this? Well, that's interesting. What about? Okay. What about using audio and or effect filters on the macOS screen captures? What can I? Anything there that can kill the echo? I'm gonna do this the old school way. An echo is typically caused by an audio feedback loop or having multiple sources capturing the same audio. The key to fixing this is ensuring that OBS isn't sending its monitoring output to a device is simultaneously being captured as it is. a second. Okay, testing now. Okay, testing now. No, that didn't do it. Testing. Testing 1 2. Okay, testing. Okay, testing. No, fuck you. Hello, hello, hello. Alright, this is the mic. I can still talk in Discord.
And flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to
Why in the fuck is that capturing audio? Testing.
and for show. Meanwhile, if you think that this is the end of the video, then congratulations. You just committed the same fallacy that the Bush administration.
Getting rid of that.
It's accomplishing its military mission in Venezuela.
Alright, what did it say? No filters can't fix this. Replied after this. Been duplicated. Okay. But my mic is not duplicating. It is duplicating. God damn it. It's been a fucking hour. I haven't even started because of stupid audio. I got rid of. Well, is this happening only on Kick? Testing. Oh, wait a second. I am so fucking stupid. Oh my god. Let me do this.
This came out.
I've got, okay, this is going to be a test on listening to
President Trump
this
said
and
Delcy Rodriguez
also
was
my
sworn
own
in as
voice.
Venezuela's interim
And
president,
then
and
I'm
would act as a
going
partner in letting the United States
to,
run the country. She's essentially willing to do what we think is necessary to make Venezuela great again, he said.
okay, I
Less
just
than 2 hours later, Ms.
accidentally
Rodriguez,
pressed the wrong
who was
hotkey.
Nicolas Maduro's vice president,
So,
delivered a televised address to Venezuela that made clear she viewed the United States as an illegal invader that must be rejected. We are determined to be free, she said. What is being again, he said.
okay, I
Less
just
than 2 hours later,
accidentally
Ms.
pressed the wrong
Rodriguez, who was
hotkey.
Nicolas Maduro's vice president,
So,
delivered a televised address to Venezuela that made clear she viewed the United States as an illegal invader that must.
that worked perfectly. So, right now I have the laptop mic input and a screen capture, and there's no echoing. So,
militant groups already. That puts them a step ahead of where all of the various factions in Iraq were during the initial invasion. And the problem for me is that the politics and territorial control of those groups is opaque. Consequently, I'm going to leave that discussion here. One hopes someone in Washington had worked out the real details before executing the extraction mission. Either way, the die is cast. Whether this turns into a long-run civil war will depend on the actions taken in the next hours to days to weeks to months. Bush's poor management of Iraq sunk his historical legacy. Trump has shown no willingness to stick with long-term military operations. Unless something about Venezuela makes the country different, then being absolutely perfect during the transition period will be critical for this to go well over the long run. If you want to learn more about the US-Venezuela crisis, check out this new playlist that I made on the subject. And if you enjoyed today's video, then...
The problem I see is that you are getting lumped in with Hassan and the rest of the communist crowd. Just today, Asingle made a comment linking you to Hassan and that Jackson Hinkle guy. That perception is damaging. That's why it's important to clearly and publicly go after communists and make it unmistakable that you reject them. I would even lie and give credit to Trump if that is what it takes to clearly separate yourself from the degenerates. That's retarded. Nobody that watches any amount of my content or knows anything about me, like, thinks that I have any link to either of these people. Like, that's the dumbest fucking thing in the universe. Like, if conservatives want to lie and lie and lie, they can, but it's a totally delusional lie that's just totally, it's just not, there's just no basis in reality for that whatsoever.
please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Take care.
Take a chance after having done this, but we can't take a chance after having done this incredible thing last night of letting somebody else take over, where we have to do it again. We can do it again too. Nobody can stop us. There's nobody that has the capability that we have. You know, when I watched that war in Russia going on and on and on, and everybody dying, and It's like, yeah, it's primitive. It's primitive. It's horrible.
Could you tell us, Mr. President?
But we can't take it.
Good one. Is there a reason not to just have this set to 4x? 420 FPS. Why set it to auto? What does auto even do? Holy shit. Now this is my shit. You guys can't see a difference, but... Frame time is 8.4 milliseconds.
That's interesting.
Hey, hello.
Okay. Okay.
Works in
Chat
the
we could.
The input lag is just gonna be measured in frame time, right? Paste. 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 You motherfucker.
Width down. I mean, what do we have here? 525,
frame time
810.
Maybe on average is what, a millisecond lower, maybe?
Here it is. Still
Maybe.
maybe 520.
Throwing credits to Iraqis in that situation, the Bush admin had to make up evidence in order to invade. True. Trump doesn't need to make your shit up. He just says we're fucking going.
Probably do like 500.
The fuck did you pull your rattler out? Chill. Is he aiming at me?
Yeah.
What?
Cool.
Stop being threatening.
All right.
Hello?
Hello, sorry, I'm just asking when is a good time.
So this
I
is set up.
apologize, I apologize for the chat.
Good, you
I
should.
apologize to you.
Go, real fast, what's up?
Boom.
Oh, I was just gonna ask if you wanted to like kind of like not mod.
Let's see.
Maybe.
Here it is. Still
Maybe.
maybe 520. Prob-
It's a good time.
So this
I
is set
apologize,
up.
I apologize for the chat.
Good, you
I
should.
apologize to you.
Go, real fast, what's
Okay, I think that's good now. Love it.
can literally just do like 80k loot runs like over and over and over and over and over again. And there's literally nothing over and over and over and over and over again. And there's nothing. So crazy how aggressive sorting is. So crazy how aggressive sorting is. Hey, you can send them out. Hey, you can send them out. Hey, you can send them out. What do you think the Dems' posture should be? Jeffries and Schumer and others. Posture should be. I don't even know what it is. Like Trump should have been impeached for a million different things. I think this should be impeachable, but like Americans are fucking retarded.
Jesus Christ! Like you're fucking up my mind.
I think. I've said this for a long time. I think if you're trying to win elections or do shit, like foreign policy is just never the issue to talk about. That's why the retards that obsessed over Israel-Palestine were worthless. Like Americans don't give a fuck about other countries at the end of the day. You have to run on the things that affect them more domestically or locally. Are they even going to probe if it's an official act or whatever? Well, I'm not talking about if it's an official act or whatever. Criminal shit. I'm just saying that just fucking impeach him. Just get him out. This guy's crazy. You come to me, please? God damn it. Does the recent thing show our military will by and large violate their oaths? I don't think that when it comes time to like following legal or following illegal orders, I think that should apply to like specific military actions on the ground. Like if you're being asked to slaughter a village of civilians, or if you're being asked to like double tap somebody who's already like clearly not militarily fit for combat, I think that these are the things that the military should not be doing. In terms of second guessing the president on big things like this is, I would expect them to follow through. I wouldn't fault the military. It's not up to them to make broad determinations on whether or not like a particular war is legal or illegal. That's just not up for the individual military people to decide. Motherfucker. Is there a war? I don't know. We don't say war anymore, I guess. But I mean, we invaded another country and we captured their leader. That's kind of like a war, right? I would say that. I mean, we've basically been at war, no? Like, we've been blowing their people up in the ocean. We've had ships aggressively postured outside their country. We've been preparing to invade and capture their leader. We did an on-the-ground invasion and captured their leader. Like, I mean, if that's not war, like, what else? We authorized the Alien Enemies Act, which is for enemies of the country that we're at war with. Like, yeah, our military operation killed about 40 other people, I think. You see Venezuela retaliating? How? I don't know if they can do anything. I mean, we're the U.S. We can do whatever the fuck we want. But if Venezuela gets real fucked up after this, it's going to look pretty bad. And all these people that were traumatized by the Iraq War, who said it was the worst fucking thing ever, and who couldn't fathom ever being in any military conflict ever the fuck again, are apparently not having strong opinions about this. Is pretty stupid. Stream disagreements. Hi, what's up? Oh, nice. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Can you open a Raider's hatch when you're downed? Like, if I have a hatch key, can I open that? King of Pandas, I can't hear you if you're speaking. Yes, I think so. Okay. King of Pandas, you can do this. It's just making a microphone work in Discord. I promise you, you can figure this out.
Hello?
Hey, you got it. What's up?
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. I wanted to... I'll preface this by saying that I consider myself a liberal, like yourself.
I'm about to hear the strongest defense for Trump I've ever heard in my entire life. Okay, let's go.
No. I don't think I think what we did in Venezuela was I disagree with it in the sense that it wasn't authorized by Congress. That's my main that's like the main thing that I don't agree with, that he just kind of did it unilaterally. But this is kind of par for the course at this point. But it's bad. But like in a vacuum, or maybe like, do you think that we should have maybe, in some sense, gotten rid of Maduro? Or let's say if he had done it, you know, through the proper channels, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna, this guy he's got to go. Is this? Do you think that would have been a good idea?
It could have been, sure, but that's not what happened. So I don't know why we're talking about that.
Okay, so like, what's your, when you think of what happened, what is your main problem with what happened?
Is he's doing it unilaterally from the White House without even informing like other parts of the government what's going on?
But if he had done it properly, that would have been fine with you.
I mean, I'd probably
like,
oppose it on other grounds if
geopolitically
it's like the
advantageous?
first step. I don't think I don't think Trump has the mind for managing other nations, and I don't trust the U.S. Motivation for doing anything like that. But that would be a separate. It would be a separate action, so I'd have separate criticisms for it. I'd be opposed to that action too. But
Okay. Okay, I thought we disagreed on more than we actually do. So this, never mind. I'm sorry.
well,
Okay.
well, I mean, So what? You're okay with it because? Why are you okay with it?
Well, it's not like, I think it would have been nice if he had gone through the proper channels, but at this point, like, I don't know what I would have preferred we have done. If we had had like a more steady hand in the White House, that would have been nice. But like, I don't know exactly what I'm waiting for from the United States to do instead. Like, what other options did we have at our disposal? I'm not like jumping for joy at the thought of killing people in
I mean, what were
Venezuela,
the? Did we have like mass sanctions on Venezuela or anything?
yeah, we have basically an embargo on Venezuela at this point.
An embargo, like we were blowing up
like,
ships that were going to the country, or?
Oh no, but like there was just no trade. There was just I don't know what else, like what other sanctions we could have levied on them.
Did the
other
UN
than, like,
have sanctions
telling
on
them the
Venezuela?
country. I'm pretty sure they've been pretty critical of Maduro. Like, it's why I don't really understand. Well, I'm not saying that you're doing this, but like when people talk about like appealing to the UN or some international or wider international body, like I don't know who's gonna make that decision. Like, who's gonna be the country to take action, because we've been talking about Maduro, and since Hugo Chavez, I mean, the country's been a disaster. So I don't know exactly.
What are we? But that's not a good reason. What is our reason to unilaterally invade and depose the leader?
I don't know. I guess I'm unconvinced that, like, well, actually that's a poor way of putting it. That's my fault. I don't understand like why we should just let him. The election was a fraud that just happened. They've been frauds. I think the rest of the world is kind of knows that it's fraudulent, and I think if we had gone about it in a better way, probably we could have gone a little bit less.
I feel like the elections in the Donbass and Crimea were fraudulent as well. No.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We're not doing shit about that.
We should.
We're
well,
not.
I don't know if we should go bomb Russia, but I mean, yeah, I'm fine with a more active role in.
I mean, I feel
Ukraine.
like this is so horrible. I feel like we should have been able to get a coalition of people at the UN. Like, well, I just don't understand. Like, yeah, I feel like Maduro's bad. He's a bad person, and the regime was bad. It's a bad regime. That's an argument for the United States to invade the country and depose the leader.
But who was going to join us?
If nobody joins us, then we just don't do anything. It's just a shitty leader that exists, and it just sucks. But is America literally now going to just depose every autocratic leader because we think it's our moral mission to do so, even if nobody else supports us doing it?
I don't know if we have to depose every leader like all at once. Like, we just say like, all right, if you're a dictator, we're going to come for you in the next like 4 years or something. But
that's what we're going to do. We're going to start deposing dictators.
Well,
but bad dictators, right? Because we're okay with like the monarchs, like in the Gulf states and everything. We're okay with those dictators.
Well, yeah, that's not good. I'm not trying to say that Trump has a coherent foreign policy. It's just on this discrete issue, I don't know what else we could have, like, who would we be appealing to, like,
if a thing is incoherent, then every action is bad. It doesn't matter if it turns out okay sometimes. If you have a sociopathic surgeon who just runs around removing people's appendixes, and it just so happens that of the last 5 people, one of the appendixes was about to burst, I'm not going to give him credit even for that single appendicitis. I'm going to say all of them are bad because it's coming from a bad place. No? Isn't this like, I can make a billion examples of this. All of these are, If you run around and you rape 100 women and 5 of them had secret consent, non-consent fantasies and you didn't know about this, I'm not going to say, well, for those 5, there was no harm, that was fine, you were okay. I would say all of them are bad. Like if you run around executing 100 random people and 2 of them were about to commit murders, but you saved the lives of the people that I wouldn't give you credit for the 2 people you randomly kill just because, like, I don't understand, like, if there's no coherency, if there's no plan, if there's no consistency, I'm not going to give credit even when some things might have some potentially positive side effects spun out from them.
I can understand that. I just
Wait, no, wait. But you disagree with it. I'm not asking you to understand it. I think intuitively, I think every single human being would agree with this. Is there an example I gave that you disagree with, or is there some reason none of those examples are analogous to this? Like, why would you ever agree with this example?
Those are valid points. I don't know how much it tracks to the foreign policy of this administration, though. Like,
okay, do you think that Trump has a coherent plan for South America?
No, probably not.
Do you think that we have the best interests of the Venezuelan people at heart when we've deposed Maduro?
Do you mean like our casus belli was like we're gonna save Venezuelans? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
No, that's not the primary thing.
Okay. Do you think that given the opportunity between enriching the United States and helping the Venezuelan people, if those 2 things are at odds, which one do you think Trump will choose?
If they're at odds, probably picking our interest. I mean, I would imagine so.
So then what? So how can you possibly? I don't understand where the support for this can come from in any way. It seems like every single part of this is just selfish, narcissistic U.S. interest with a guy who has no comprehensive or future vision for the region that will always opt towards favoring the U.S. over domestic interest anyway, domestic interest of Venezuela.
Because I don't know if preserving the status quo is preferable to that. Like, I'm
well,
not
but
sure
they're
that,
preserving
like,
the status. It's their status quo. We don't have a responsibility to disrupt the status quo at every single government or any government that we don't like.
We don't have a responsibility, but I don't know why, like...
Well, it doesn't give us a justification
I don't think
to.
we have, like... No, it doesn't give us... Well, I don't think we need a justification. We're the most powerful country on earth. It's like... Not that we should go out and...
Okay, so if I break into your house and I rape your mom or sister or girlfriend, or you if you're shorter than me, is that okay because I'm stronger than you? What is this might make? This is like the weirdest might makes right argument in the world. Is slavery okay if we can get enough black people to be?
It's not that it's not that it's right. It's just that that's how it is. Like I would like to live in a world where we have what do people call it? Like the rules-based international order.
Don't we have a rules-based international order right now? Isn't there a weaker country to the north and south of us that we could take over militarily, but we don't?
I would say that kind of nation states and borders predate what I'm referring. I'm talking about stuff like the UN and like more modern internationalist institutions like the UN, and like we have those, and those are great, but they're not effective at preserving, or I'm sorry, they're not effective at keeping the well-being of the people that they're meant to.
Haven't they been though? Haven't we been like relatively peaceful over the past 80 years compared to prior World War II and prior to that?
Is that because of
the rules-based international order that all of us are adhering to? I would say so, yeah. Or
is it because of the UN, or is it because of like there are these powerful countries that are kind of steering us in a certain direction for now? Like I would wager that because Trump is, I consider him to be a very bad president. Like, and he's steering us in bad ways. Like I don't think the UN is like going to be like, hold on now, guys, we can't let this happen. The US is going to say, well, all right, well the UN said so. Like push comes to shove, I think what matters in the global order is that might makes right, and in that situation, I don't know what other.
I agree with you that in a descriptive sense, might can make right, but the things that we should be making right are a rules-based international order. That the strongest person can come into a room and he could say, I'm going to subjugate all of you, but the strongest person also has the ability to come into the room and say, I'm going to ensure that all of us adhere to some rules-based order. Right, so like the monarchs having the Magna Carta or whatever, and agreeing that even the king is subject to the laws of his people, like George Washington stepping down after his term as president. Like these are things that people who are powerful and in charge can ensure that everybody follows, like this kind of like rules-based system. So just because you're the strongest player doesn't mean you have to act like a sociopathic, rapist, homicidal freak. You could also say like, I am the strongest person and I am going to enforce a rules-based international order. Like, isn't that a thing that we have the ability to do? Shouldn't we be doing that?
I think we should. I agree with you totally. But
So then, shouldn't we disagree with the deposing of Maduro?
um, well, if it like okay, this sounds kind of stupid, but if a Democrat had done this, I think that it would be very bad because ostensibly, or literally anyone other than Trump, but what we have now with Trump, we're never going to get that sort of. Trump is the might makes right guy. Um, that's like his whole thing. I would imagine you agree with me. Like he just wants to be tough. He wants to project power, and so he does these sorts of things. And usually, that's I would say almost always that's bad. But in this situation, I'm not sure that like. Well, let me put it this way: like if we had a leader who was interested in what you said, like we're going to use our power to create a rules-based international order, what would we have done with Maduro?
I don't know.
Like,
You sanction and you progressively pressure the country until you see what you can accomplish, like going down that road. We don't have a reason for war. We don't have a just reason to invade that country and go to war with them. I mean, at some point, there can be countries that exist that we just don't like, that we hate, that have bad leadership and rig their elections and do bad shit. But I mean, you just kind of that's part of the world. I guess some countries can do fucked up shit and make bad decisions. If it's really bad, of like genociding their people or something, maybe we can intervene. But at that point, it should be so bad that we can build a coalition around the world of countries to go in and take care of it.
um, I don't know if like even when we have built coalitions to deal with stuff like genocide and stuff, you know, when I think the international or rather the moral weight of the crime occurring is so grave that like it seems obvious that everyone would be on board to stop this. Even then, we struggle to form coalitions. Like
Did we though?
we trip over ourselves.
For Libya,
With
didn't we have
Rwanda,
is Libya the one where China didn't even vote no? Was that a NATO thing? Or I don't remember if that was with the UN
that was a
blessing.
NATO intervention.
Yeah, but I
I
don't.
think
There
it
was
was
one. It might have
I
been
think it was
NATO
like
with
a
the.
UN thing.
But like there have been
It was
things
a,
in '91
right.
for the first Gulf War. Like that was a thing that we had, I think, like pretty broad consensus for, and like
I agree.
it was a
Yeah,
moral thing. Like
I think like it can happen. I don't disagree that we can make it happen, and that would be the ideal. But I mean, for every example you give of like that coalition forming, there's an example of it not forming. Like we tripped over ourselves in Rwanda, and a million people died
what
because
was the thing
there
preventing
were
us
too
from
many.
intervening in Rwanda?
There was the Fran. I think I want to. I don't. I'm not an expert, so
I'm not either. I don't know
obviously
enough about the situation to say, but like
but I'm if I understand correctly, it was basically that the French government was unwilling to like support an intervention because their people, the interests that they had in the region were friendly to the genocidaires. So they were kind of stubborn. That's my understanding. That might be wrong, but I know that like that coalition never formed because there were UN troops there. They left, and then there was a genocide, and then you know the other Rwandan rebels came in and stopped it, and then it ended. And you know, like stuff like I agree that we should be able to do coalition stuff, but I don't know if that coalition exists for Maduro. Not that people don't like him. Like people hate him. He's reviled like, everywhere.
I guess like this is my issue is that like I feel like there is a like do you know who like Andrew Tate is? I feel like there's like this 6-year-old approach to the world where it's like if I walk around and I beat the shit out of everybody, people are going to see I'm the true alpha male, and then like everybody's just going to follow me, and that's like the best way to run the world. And I feel like that's like a child's view of how international affairs works. But like the true view is the more friends you have, the more alliances you have, the more economic cooperation you have, the more intelligence cooperation you have, your Five Eyes and other forms of international collaboration. Like these are the things that make America like such a fearsome fucking ally is that we have eyes in every country. We've got so many friendly intelligence sharing agreements with so many different people. We can deploy anywhere with any friend and do anything we want as a result of these cooperations, rather than this like 4-year-old's view of like America's the best because we can fucking kidnap any fucking leader we want. Like that's like retarded. That's not sustainable. Like that's the thing that collapses in a generation because now everybody views you as an unhinged fucking maniac. Nobody wants to form any deals with you. Nobody believes in any kind of long-term coherent strategy from you, and they're worried that the next schizo president you guys are going to undo every deal you just had with them, whether it's Trump blowing up his own trade deal, his NAFTA, USMCA or whatever agreement, or blowing up the Iranian nuclear agreement. Like, why would you ever sign any? Like, this is just such a short-term, like, retard strength strategy that is going to fall apart in a single generation. I don't know how anybody can support this with over like 75 IQ. It just seems so stupid to me and so short-sighted. Like, we built like the strongest empire in the history of the planet by being a friend to so many people. Like, you think that was an accident or by mistake? Like, Russia and the Soviets invaded other countries, controlled them as satellite states. It completely fucking collapsed. China's having issues with their own people, and they still haven't been able to climb and have this middle class ascension like they thought they would. Like, the United States is like, we're creating our own problems right now. We're fantasizing about Islamic jihadism in the United States because of Mamdani winning an election as New York City mayor. Like, the West has been so successful. We're literally having to invent our own problems. Like, Russia's fears right now are like an oligarchical collapse of support for Putin because he's not able to invade what was supposed to be a walkover fucking country. China's having massive economic issues with building fake cities and trying to get foreign direct investment to work, and other countries being resentful of how they work. And the United States' problems are like fucking trans swimmers and I guess like girls with small boobs in video games. It's just so crazy to me that we look at the West as like, oh, the American project has failed. Now we need to go invade and depose leaders in other countries. And meanwhile, Putin couldn't even get rid of fucking Zelensky. I just don't understand where this concept comes from that like the U.S. has failed because I guess students are going into debt because they're using Klarna loans for fucking DoorDash. And, meanwhile, in other countries, it's like we need to invade Ukraine and take over their power plants because our economy is literally wholly supported by energy because that's the only fucking thing we have left here. I just don't understand it. It's very confusing to me.
No, I think I agree with most of what you just said. I'm not a friend of Republicans in the slightest. It was just on this issue where I was like, I don't know if I'm like super for the intervention. Maybe I came out about it the wrong way, but it was more that like, I have trouble like coming up with a coherent argument for why, we should have waited or there was a better alternative, like to what just happened.
I mean, we could just do nothing. We don't have to invade and change the leadership in Venezuela. We didn't have to do any of that.
I agree. We didn't have to. That like I guess I can agree that we just could have let it be. But if maybe I'm too much of a lib shit, and I think like if we can, these people obviously are not fans of Maduro. They obviously want him gone. This is a very unstable country. The country is literally falling apart. I mean, not now. But before there was a famine in the country. What is it? Like a fourth of the country fled because the situation was so dire. It's not a genocide. I think that it's not a genocide by any sense, but it's like I would consider it a humanitarian crisis. What's happening there? So if that's something that we as a country want to do something about, then like
we solve humanitarian crises by deposing the leadership and saying we're going to go and take their oil. Like another huge issue is even if I grant you everything you've said, is Trump there to solve a humanitarian crisis? Like you yourself said, if there was U.S. interest conflicting with Venezuelan interests, we would side with the U.S. interest.
No, I agree. I agree. Which is why, like, I think it's very much wait and see for me because if he goes in there and all he does is depose Maduro and like.
But that's what he said he wants to do. There's no mystery here. You're inventing like all of this complexity where there is none. It's a serial killer running up and stabbing somebody on the street, and you're like, well, hold on, maybe he's going to do surgery. And the guy's like, I'm stabbing this guy because I want to kill him. And it's like, why the fuck would you think that? Trump doesn't give a fuck about Venezuelans. We know this, right?
But I mean, what happens afterwards in Venezuela? I might have not read the same stuff you have, but it seems to me like it's not 100% clear what happens afterwards in Venezuela. And if it ends up with like nothing happening, right? Like the vice president or whomever, some other lackey of Maduro ends up taking power, then I don't know. I'll admit I was wrong, and like I'll come back and be like I was wrong. I'm sorry, and because then functionally nothing changes. But like if by some possibility, right? We get what's the name of the woman who won the Nobel Prize, or someone
the one that they explicitly said they're not supporting,
or someone like that, right? Because she's not the only one, I imagine. In that case, then like the situation in Venezuela is maybe not like well, I would say there's a higher likelihood that things improve, and in which case, I don't know. It feels like people benefited from it, and it feels like like something good came out of it. But I guess maybe it's too early to say, so I don't know. I just wanted to give my 2 cents, I guess.
Hold on, just as a quick thing.
does that automatically extend to every politician, or does it have to be specifically granted?
No, we arrested the guy. He's not a recognized
Yes,
ambassador.
I understand that. I know what Trump's done. I'm saying, what do the actual laws say? Like, does diplomatic immunity have to be explicitly granted, or is it implied that anyone from
My guess is it's granted when you're like given like visas or